I've been consistent for 54 days now, and this was the week when it finally stopped feeling like a grind. That might sound like progress, but honestly, I feel it's a test. Because once the habits stick, once they feel normal, you have to ask, am I just coasting or am I still growing? This past week, I finally felt like a piece of the puzzle slid into place. And the funny thing is that it wasn't the most exciting week. Maybe that's why. I've been used to having these big moments, celebrating milestones, feeling like I unlocked something new every single week. But this week just felt boring. Every day started to fall into a routine. And maybe that's the point. Yes, it's still a challenge, still rules to follow, still boxes to tick. But it felt less like I was ticking boxes and more like this is just what I do now. The everyday habits have changed. Like I already know from when I wake up what I have to do in the day, Like I have to go get my walk, get my steps in, cook some meals, get some reading done. It's all there from the start of the day. I don't have to, force it anymore, because in the beginning, even like a month ago or so, every box I ticked felt like a chore, like I was just doing it. I don't know if it makes sense, but it felt like I had to force it just to say I did it, just to be accountable to you guys as well, but at the same time to myself, saying like, okay, I did that finally, yes, whatever, But now it's starting to feel like it's part of the day itself. I don't have to force it anymore. It's just there. And I even noticed small things like reaching for the water bottle when I'm leaving the house, having it filled up and just with me all the time, or keeping one next to me all the time and refilling it up so that when I work, when I sit at the computer and such, I just keep sipping on it. And the whole drink 3 liters of water a day part of the challenge kind of just doesn't really exist for me anymore. I just noticed that before I had to put reminders for myself, have sticky notes all over the place. Now it just happens. So routine has started to take over. The walks feel easier too, much less effort. And that's kind of frustrating really, because now I can go further than before, but it takes longer. Time is always a crunch, so I guess the next step would be to optimize the speed at which I'm going, covering more ground in the same time. And it's so funny that what felt like impossible in the beginning now feels normal, and because once it feels normal, it opens the door for you to push harder. And not only that, now I'm looking to optimize this, how can I shave some time off, I can cover that distance, but I need to cover that distance in an hour instead of an hour and a half, and so on. So that is just crazy to me. It seems like, I don't know, I'm starting to get into the same sort of mind frame as other people, people running and doing this kind of stuff for real. It feels like kind of scary, oh wow, I'm finally getting to that point now as well. That's kind of what happened on the big hike. 15,000 steps, up hills, legs were burning all the way. Halfway through, I literally thought about turning back. Maybe also because I kind of got off trail a little bit, and I was like, where am I right now? But I thought, I feel okay. I can keep going. And I really wanted to not only challenge myself, I wanted to get to that viewpoint. And I had this sort of internal feeling okay, what if I can't do it? What if I get stuck here and I have to call somebody and pick me up and all that stuff? The brain was starting to concoct all of these reasons not to do it. But at some point I was like, you know what, let's just, muster up the courage and just go for it and scale that thing. It wasn't even that big of a height. To me, it really felt like climbing a freaking mountain or something. But in reality, I think, for somebody fit, that would be absolutely a joke. Actually, I did see a guy jogging around that area. So, grain of salt. And when I got there, it was worth it. The sense of accomplishment, proof that the boring days built up to something, you know, like all of this sort of consistency and routine, it all led to somewhere. And I don't know, it just made my day there. And then on my way back, I passed a sunflower farm. And I don't know, something about sunflowers just makes me smile. I don't know, maybe it's the sun part of them, or, you know, it makes me feel all warm inside. And like a kid, I had to walk through them. I had to just like walk through that field, and I picked 3 to take home. You know, and it's okay. The farm was actually selling them. They had this whole system where they actually had like clippers on the side, where you could just pick up the clippers, pick some up, and then pay on the honor system. Basically, they had like a payment link there. You scan the link, and you pay for whatever you took. It's all based on trust here. And that day turned into a highlight, not only just for the week, but for this whole challenge, because it started off as an ordinary day that I chose to turn into something else, into something more extraordinary, and I chose to make it more than what it was. And yeah, sure, it was the hike and everything, but to end it up in the sunflower, it literally made the whole soreness and pain and whatever, I just ignored it. It literally, the only thing I could think about is how nice those flowers looked on my next to the alpaca there. I think I'm starting to learn discipline. I know I haven't spoken a lot about discipline because I always felt I didn't have it, and I understand now that discipline is something you train. Discipline is something you put together, and nothing showed it more than yesterday, as I'm recording this on Saturday, day 53, right? So I just cleaned the kitchen, my expensive home gym. And honestly, that usually wipes me out, because at my size, even these insignificant small chores, you know, like cleaning the kitchen, cleaning the floors, doing, you know, the regular stuff that everybody does every day, I don't know, for a person my size, it's like double the trouble, or I don't know, triple the effort, or whatever you want to call it. And everything in me wanted to stay inside because it was already looking like it was about to rain and everything. But something in me said, no, I still need to go out and get those steps in. I still need to be consistent, even on this day. And I thought, yeah, I could outrun the clouds. I could just, go and be quick about it. And of course, maybe I won't do the complete, you know, steps and whatnot, but I went for it and got drenched head to toe. And the crazy thing is that, yeah, even though that was not the best experience, it felt really good. Because it showed me that it's not motivation anymore. It's not just pure motivation that puts me through this. It's actually discipline. And it's been a very long time. I don't know the last time I had an actual example where I could say that was discipline. You know, like this is what discipline is and how it's supposed to be. I don't know, maybe it's not that, or maybe I'm just, you know, overthinking it or something, but maybe it's just a stubbornness that finally works in my favor. 54 days of 75 soft given me. I think less drama to get started, you know, less drama to begin things, to get going, and more trust in myself and in my capabilities. And I guess physically, even the stairs are easier. I don't get as winded coming up the stairs anymore. Of course, we're talking here a floor or two, not, yeah. And I also feel like, walks are much easier now. Walks are, the difference in walking and walking speed, walking fatigue is enormous. It's really crazy. And recovery is actually quicker. From the gym as well. Like back in the day, I don't know, it took me like 2 or 3 days after a really big session at the gym to recover and get all the muscle soreness out. Now it's like a day or two good to go again, you know. And mentally, I feel like I'm steadier. I feel like this is the side where all these days have like built something up, and I feel like I'm ready to take this forward, and I'm prepared to take this for the long haul, or if you want to call it that. I don't know. This is a feeling I haven't had in a long time, like actual excitement for what's to come, and not just like the last 20 days of 74 or whatever days for 75 soft for this actual challenge, but beyond that, because I think, you know, if this much can change in 54 days, in like a couple of months, I can't even imagine what happens when I keep going and where I'll end up, say, a year from now, right? And I'm really keen to see that happening and how that is going to look like. And needless to say, if you want to follow the journey in real time, subscribe and join the Chonk Tribe. We're building something special here, I feel. And this is barely started. I know a lot of you asked what's the plans beyond 75 soft. The journey is not even close to being done. There is, you know, longer roads to get to where I'm trying to go. And in the meantime, I'm also thinking, you know, we're starting to build something really interesting here. And I feel like the internet kind of needs this. It needs a quarter of positivity and a little bit of more, I don't know, inspiration drawn from not necessarily me, but from each other. So if you've watched this far, if you've been here for all of these months, for all of these 54 days, I really appreciate you and I really thank you. And stick around because things are going to get much more interesting and much more fun. And until next time, stay kind, stay strong, and take care. Chonk out.